Imagine a city at night long ago. The sun has set, the only light comes from the moon and stars. Streets are dark and dangerous, people stay inside. This was life before streetlights. Life was different without streetlights. Traveling at night was risky. Crime was a bigger problem in the dark. People's lives changed when streetlights appeared. The earliest streetlights were simple. They were oil lamps, a humble yet significant invention that marked the beginning of public lighting. These lamps were often made from clay or metal and were designed to hold oil and a wick. The concept was straightforward but revolutionary for its time. People hung them on walls or posts, strategically placing them to provide the most light. In many communities, these lamps were the only source of illumination after sunset, guiding people through the dark streets and providing a sense of security. They burned animal fat or vegetable oil. The light was weak, often flickering in the wind. Despite their limitations, these lamps were a significant improvement over complete darkness. The choice of fuel varied depending on what was readily available, with some regions favoring olive oil while others used whale oil or tallow. It only lit a small area, casting long shadows and creating pockets of darkness. This limited illumination meant that only the immediate vicinity of the lamp was visible, leaving much of the street in shadow. However, even this small amount of light was invaluable in preventing accidents and deterring crime. These lamps needed constant care. Tending to them was a daily task, often assigned to a specific individual or group within the community. This person was responsible for ensuring that the lamps were in good working order, a role that was crucial for maintaining public safety. Someone had to light them every evening. This task was usually performed at dusk, just as the sun was setting. The lighter would make their rounds, igniting each lamp one by one, transforming the darkening streets into a network of softly glowing lights. They needed refilling with oil. Depending on the size of the lamp and the type of oil used, this could be a daily or weekly chore. The oil was often stored in large containers and carefully poured into the lamps to avoid spills and ensure a steady supply of fuel. They also needed their wicks trimmed. A well-maintained wick was essential for a steady flame. If the wick was too long, it would produce smoke and soot. If too short, the flame would be weak. Regular trimming ensured that the lamp burned efficiently and provided the best possible light. Still, oil lamps were a start. They represented the first step in humanity's quest to conquer the night. These early streetlights, though primitive by today's standards, were a crucial innovation that paved the way for future advancements in public lighting. They were the first step towards safer, brighter streets. Over time, technology evolved, leading to the development of gas lamps and eventually electric streetlights. But it all began with these simple oil lamps, illuminating the path forward and lighting up the night. The main reason for streetlights was safety. Darkness hid criminals. People felt afraid walking alone at night. Streetlights helped people feel safer. They discouraged crime, but safety was not the only reason. Streetlights also had social benefits. They allowed people to enjoy the night. People could socialize after dark. Businesses could stay open later. Streetlights brought life to cities after sunset. A new invention changed street lighting: gaslight. Gaslight used burning gas to produce light. It was much brighter than oil lamps. Gas lights were also more efficient. One gas lamp could light a larger area. Cities began to install gas lighting systems. Pipes carried gas fuel through the streets. Gas lamps lined the sidewalks. The change was dramatic. Streets became much brighter. Nightlife flourished. The era of gaslight had arrived. Section 5, the electric revolution, Edison and beyond. Then came the biggest change of all: electricity. The advent of electricity marked a pivotal moment in human history, transforming not just how we live, but how we perceive the world around us. It was a revolution that touched every aspect of life, from the way we work to the way we communicate, and even how we entertain ourselves. In the late 1800s, inventors like Thomas Edison developed electric lighting. Edison, often hailed as one of the greatest inventors of all time, was instrumental in bringing electric light to the masses. His work on the incandescent light bulb was groundbreaking, making it possible for homes and streets to be illuminated in a way that was previously unimaginable. Electric streetlights were brighter and more efficient than gas lights. Before the advent of electric lighting, gas lamps were the standard. They flickered and required constant maintenance, and their light was dim and uneven. Electric lights, on the other hand, provided a steady, bright light that made streets safer and more navigable at night. The first electric street lights appeared in the late 1870s. They used arc lamps. These arc lamps were a significant improvement over gas lamps, but they were not without their drawbacks. They were incredibly bright, almost too bright, and they required a lot of power to operate. Arc lamps produced a very bright light. This intense brightness was both a blessing and a curse. While it made streets much more visible at night, it also meant that the lamps were expensive to run and maintain. They required high voltage, which made them less practical for widespread use. However, they were also expensive and required high voltage. This made them less accessible for everyday use, and they were often reserved for specific applications where their intense light was necessary, such as in large public spaces or industrial settings. Edison's incandescent bulb proved more practical for widespread use. Unlike arc lamps, Edison's bulbs were designed to be used in homes and businesses. They were more affordable, easier to maintain, and required much less power. This made it possible for electric lighting to become a common feature in everyday life, revolutionizing the way we live and work. Section 6, Shaping Cities, Safety, Nightlife and Growth. Electric streetlights transformed cities. Before their introduction, urban areas were often shrouded in darkness after sunset, making it difficult for people to navigate the streets safely. The advent of the electric streetlights marked a significant turning point in urban development. They made streets safer at night. The illumination provided by these streetlights allowed pedestrians to see their surroundings clearly, reducing the risk of accidents and making it easier to avoid potential hazards. Crime rates decreased in well-lit areas. The presence of streetlights acted as a deterrent to criminal activities, as the increased visibility made it harder for wrongdoers to operate under the cover of darkness. People felt more secure walking at night. Streetlights also boosted nightlife. With the streets illuminated, people were more inclined to venture out after dark, leading to a surge in nighttime activities and social interactions. Theaters, restaurants, and shops could stay open later. Businesses thrived as they could extend their operating hours, catering to the growing number of people who enjoyed the vibrant nightlife. Cities became more vibrant after dark. The presence of streetlights not only enhanced safety but also added to the aesthetic appeal of urban areas, making them more attractive and lively. Electric streetlights even contributed to urban growth. As cities became safer and more appealing, they attracted more residents and businesses, leading to expansion and development. With better lighting, cities could expand outward. The improved infrastructure allowed for the development of new areas as people felt confident moving into previously underdeveloped regions. New neighborhoods were built, connected by electric streetlights. This connectivity facilitated the integration of suburban areas into the urban fabric, promoting a sense of community and cohesion. Section 7, Streetlights. Today, still shining bright. Today, streetlights are essential. We rely on them for safety and security. They illuminate our roads and sidewalks, guiding our way in the dark. They deter crime and enhance public safety. Beyond their practical uses, streetlights contribute to the beauty of cities at night. They create a sparkling ambience, highlighting architecture and landmarks. They transform our urban environments into captivating landscapes of light. Section 8, Conclusion. From the first flickering oil lamps to modern LED fixtures, streetlights have played a vital role in human history. They represent safety, progress, and the triumph of innovation. As we move towards a future with smart cities and sustainable technologies, one thing remains certain. Streetlights will continue to illuminate our world, guiding us through the darkness. Section 9, subscribe for more. For more captivating stories about the inventions that shaped our world, subscribe to our daily history channel.